stand part of the schedule. Chester Borrows.
As Chair of the Justice and Electoral Committee, we were pleased to review the estimates in this sector and engaged with the Minister, and note that the work program was to cover 4 specific areas: improving the function and the efficiency of courts, addressing the drivers of crime across a number of portfolios in a wide spectrum, following on from the very successful Drivers of Crime seminar heard at the beginning of this term, in respect of achieving electoral and constitutional reform. And it was noted that there had been some movement in amalgamating the various electoral agencies since the beginning of this term, with the last piece of legislation in respect of that having been completed recently, and also the preparation after cross-party negotiations of electoral reform in terms of the Electoral Finance Act, and finally improving the response of the sector to the victims of crime. And it was interesting to note a number of gains that the government has had over this term and hope to complete within the next year. We were pleased to note, for instance, that the offender levy program had achieved $3.4 million since it was introduced in July 2010, and that has allowed the initiative of 13 new support initiatives for victims to be launched, many of them for victims of sexual violence. And the Minister told us that the new police safety order initiative was working well, with 3,600 police safety orders issued since March 2011 and only 244 breaches, which put a lie to the criticisms in respect of that initiative that these safety orders would not be abided by and would result in much further appearances before the court. We are interested to note too in changes to legal aid, the change already effected in folding legal aid into the Ministry of Justice, but also initiatives within the criminal procedure reform and modernisation bill that was just recently currently being has been transacted through the committee, and the changes that that would have to legal aid in respect of some things that are contentious, but actually widely approved across the broader sector of legal aid providers, albeit there are some who are complaining about it. Also, the expansion of the Public Defence Service, which is allowing high-quality lawyers to be available to those people appearing before the court in major centres around New Zealand. We look forward to the further expansion of that. And the committee was very pleased to hear of work that was being done in respect of child victims and witnesses, noting with some concern that there is on average a 15-month gap between an incident occurring and a child having to testify before the court, and the initiatives that the Minister is taking in lessening this time, and some new ground being covered in terms of the way that evidence is taken to lessen the stress on a young child having to give evidence before the court. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
The Honourable Simon Power.